Hey guys! In today's video, we're going to practice our polygonal model skill by creating this new product design. Today, we'll see everything from planning to final modeling of our products. So, let's go to class. Here, I have the Photoshop open and I already have my reference loaded. Remember that the download link is in the video description. I'm going to create a new layer here. I'm going to select a color to create my border planning. I'm going to leave it red. The brush size is fine for me. So, let's start with the first piece. I'm going to divide the model into 3 parts. Let's do this piece first. This one will be our second and this one be our third piece. I'm going to erase these lines and start the planning. Here, in the Photoshop planning, we are going to simplify the model's shape as much as possible. To do this, we are going to start by creating the contour lines, which are the main lines, without which the model wouldn't exist. So I'm going to draw a line here, another here and here. This one I'm going to take advantage of and bring here. Remembering that I'm holding down the Shift K to create the straight lines. Let's go here, here and here, and another one to the ends. Let's do the same thing up to this corner and another one up to here, completing the range of our planning. I'm going to create a new layer now and change the color. Let's go for a blue tone to give it some contrast. I'm going to decrease the brush size a little. I'm going to set it to 3. Now let's create the interior, which will be the model's few lines. I'm going to first create the lines around the edge, since this edge of the model is hard. So let's stay here and go around the entire edge of the model, up to here, and another one in this part, keeping the points where the lines meet. Let's make one here up and another one here. I won't create one on this other side since we have another part down here and it's not necessary at the moment. I'm going to create a contour line here now, since it has this slashed detail. Let's bring it here, always holding down the Shift K to create the straight line. This one, I'm going to bring this one here. I'm going to delete this middle one, I think it's too spaced out. Let's bring one here, another here, and we will finish up here. Okay, let's connect the points here, where we already create the model's curve, to fill in the shape in this part. Let's fill in this part now. Again, I'm going to place where the shape change direction. Just click, hold Shift and click down. So I'm going to bring in one more vertex here and finish filling in this space by creating this curvature here. Creating some mesh so we can create these effects. Let's finish off these points here with this 4 vertex face. We can connect it here and connect this one here. As you can see, we've created 5 vertex face here. Since this part of the model is flat, there's no problem to create a 5 vertex face in the flat areas. Avoid creating this face in areas where the shape change direction, such as this curve, as it will create some deformation in the model that we don't want to happen. I'm going to fill the shape here, and we'll bring it here and there. Just to fill the shape, I'm going to bring another line here. And the planning for this piece is already done. I'm going to organize into a new group, and we'll have the planning for this piece created. To create the other two pieces, we follow in the same process. Let's see the process speed up so as not to make the video too long. You should create the lines following the same threads as the first piece. Don't worry about getting the lines perfect. This is just a sketch. When we start the modeling process, we can organize the mesh in a more uniform way. I'm returning to the modeling process. Now that we have created the planing, let's export our reference image. Once that is done, let's go to 3ds Max. We'll start by creating a plane, center it in the scene and drag in our reference to 3ds Max. We'll start the modeling process from a plane. We convert it to editable poly and start the modeling process. Here, the process is quite practical, since we have the plane of the mesh created. We use the shortcut keys a lot to speed up the modeling process. The main case I will use are shifts to extrude the edges, Alt 1 to insert new loops, in addition to change between vertex and edge modes, which are case 1 and 2 on the keyboard. We also use tools such as target weld to join the 2 points, the breed tool to create a new face from 2 edges, and also the cut tool to create new points. It's worth remembering that I set up specific shortcuts for these tools. If you want to know which are the main shortcuts I use and how to set up our shortcuts, I will leave the video in the card above, where I give your tip to speed up your modeling process here in 3ds Max. It's worth checking out. Returning to the modeling, we use the cut tool to create new points and continue modeling the base mesh. We adjust the vertices so that they match the reference and the planing. To weld the points, we use the target welds, and to close the holes, the cap and the bridge tool. Again, holding down the Shift key, we will extrude the edges and position the vertex correctly. To finish, we will add a loop to this part, and for the back parts, we will move the reference to the back. Here, we are finishing the first part of the model. As you can see, the process is very fast when we use a planing. For the back, we are going to organize these edges by creating a sliced curvature and then extruding inwards, creating this part of the bottom of the part. For the second part, just select the face and use detach, so we'll have the face of the edges on the top part of the part. Select the lines on the edges and extrude them while holding down Shift K. Returning to the face mode, we delete this remain face. Now, we have the same edges on the both parts. So let's create the mesh again using the same process as the first piece. This step is repetitive and much easier to solve. This is because we have a correct direction of where we show the position of the vertices, making the modeling process faster and cleaner. Since you already know how this process works, let's speed up the video, and you can see that modeling is very simple. Now that we have the base of the three pieces created, let's create this detail for the top. We'll create a circle for this base and adjust its position. Once that is done, we adjust the interpolation to 3 and convert it to editable poly. Using the shell, we'll give thickness and extrude the top part according to the reference. Let's create a new circle, this time with the interpolation value to 4. We align it with the base and convert it to editable poly. Select the edges of the bottom part and extrude. Align them on the y-axis. Let's extrude one more so that it's fill the base of the object. Again, with the shell, you give thickness to the shape. With the scale, we adjust the back of the object. Let's insert a new loop at the base of the circle and adjust the vertices to match to the reference. For the last piece, we use a rectangle. Add under its spline and convert the points to corner. Now, with the fillets, we'll round the back. We'll join the points with the welds and convert them. Again, with the shell, we'll give thickness to the piece and adjust the center to the center of the base. Once that is done, we remove the sum adds and connect the points with the vertex connect. Let's do the same in the center of the object. We adjust the pivot to the edges of the object and apply a symmetry. Now, we are going to round the edges with the chamfer. We are going to insert a new face on the front using the scale and then convert the shape to a circle. Continuing with the scale, we are going to create some loops to create the details on the front of the piece. We are going to select some loops and apply an extrude to create these cuts. On the sides, we are going to adjust the size and add some details like we did on the front. Now that we created all the cuts, add a chamfer to all the edges to keeping the edges hard. To finish this piece, I'm going to create an opening on the front and add a sphere to create a lens. To do this, just create a sphere, adjust the position and size. We are going to delete half of it and adjust it so that it fits the object. Now that we have finished the base of all the piece, we are going to refine them. First, let's create the slice curvature that we have in this part of the model. Make the curve in one piece and use the snap to align the other piece so that it fits perfectly with the other. On the back, adjust the rest of the shape so that it's more uniform. Now, let's adjust the pivot of the object and use symmetry to mirror the shape. We can convert it to editable poly. I will use weld to join the points in case something is loose. And to finish the piece, we use the bridge to close the holes. Just select the edge on both sides and apply the bridge to close the shape. We always need to add a loop in the center of the piece to fill the mesh correctly. In this part, I use the cap to close the hole, and with the connects and cuts we will fill the shape. We repeat the same process on the other two pieces of the model. Once this step is finished, we will create another piece by selecting the face of the two objects. We select the face and apply a detach and then join the piece with the welds to weld the points. You already know that with the shell, we give thickness to the piece and adjust it according to the reference. I will create a detail on Z with the chamfer. First, we use the value of 0 and then with the value of 1, keeping the edge hard. We'll do the same on the other edge, this side only with the value of 1. Now, we apply an extrude to this face, creating a detail on the top of the piece. We adjust this vertex. We'll select the edges and apply a chamfer. Adjusting the distance of some points. We use the welds to weld the duplicate vertex. We repeat the process on the other piece. Once it is done, we can refine the edges of all the pieces in the model. To do this, we will select the entire edges and apply a chamfer with the same value, to keeping all the edges uniform. Once this face that created, I will add 2 support loops with the outs one, to keeping the surface hard. We repeat the process on this piece. Now let's refine this piece. We will add support loops. In this part of the circle, we will fill the mesh with the cut tool. We'll do the same on the back. I'm drawing it only half of the object. And then with symmetry, we'll mirror the mesh on the other side. Let's also mirror the shape on the z-axis to create the second piece. We adjust the position in center of the object. I'm going to adjust these edges, making the curve smoother. We'll add the open subdivide modifier, and we'll see that the piece is working well. Let's do the same on the base, creating the mesh of the upper and lower face and then adding the chamfer on the edges. In this piece, we can add the open subdivide modifier and we see that this piece is correctly. We can do the same on the other piece, adding the modifier to smooth the shape. Let's do the same in this two piece. In this back piece, we'll apply the chamfer as we did in the other two piece. Once that is done, we add the modifier to smooth the shape. In the front piece, by adding the modifier, we'll see that we can improve the mesh in this part of the model. Let's select the vertex and adjust the position so that its pieces fit together better. We apply a symmetry to mirror the adjustments and convert it to editable poly. Now, let's create the front button. To do this, we will reduce the open subdivide to 1 and add an edit poly. We'll select the face and apply an inset. Now, with the extrude, we'll make the hole in the mesh. Let's lower the edges a little to make the mesh more uniform. We apply a chamfer to the edge of the hole and select the interior face and use the detach to create the bottom. We can add the open subdivide to the mesh again and refine the bottom. We'll change the color to make it easy to see. We use the shell to give the piece thickness. We'll align the front vertex and adjust the size according to the reference. I will remove some lines to make the mesh lighter. We will apply a chamfer to the edges, creating a detail on the front. We insert some support loops and apply the open subdivide. Returning to the base object, we will make the corners more rounded to fit the bottom better. Returning to the bottom, we adjust the mesh better. We'll finish by adjusting the scale of the object and create a curve following the reference. Now, we'll create some details to fill some areas of the model. We'll select some face and separate them for this piece. We'll align the bottom parts to keeping the face flat. With the line, we'll create some details. We'll create a large one to cross the entire face. Position it closer to the edge and create some copies. Let's join them with attach and add thickness to the lines. Adjust them so that they are not too big. We adjust them inside the face. And on the face, we will add thickness so that they cross the entire detail. Now we can convert and add the boolean modifier to create the new piece from the two mesh we created. Once that is done, we convert them again, and we can add the symmetry so that the detail is uniform. I will change the color to make it easy to see and adjust the size. With the FFD modifier, we adjust the size. Let's also create this detail in text. To do this, I will create a copy of this piece and we can convert it. Let's create the text in the copy. Let's just leave the reference and use a line to create the outline of the letters. Just follow the reference and create its letter. Once all the letters are done, let's join the lines with the attach, and now select all the points where the curves are the same. After selecting all of them, apply affiliates to around the corners. Let's do the same with the remaining parts. Now we can convert it to editable poly. We can return to the copy piece, adjust the position of the letters, and add the thickness to them with the shell. We use the boolean again, this time in the subtract option. We convert it to editable poly, select the face inside the text and separate them with the detach. Let's select the face again, this time just to make it easy to select the edges of the text. Let's change to edge mode by holding down the Ctrl K, and we can remove the inside part from the selection, keeping only the border selected. To finish, I'm going to create a chamfer on the edge to give the piece a better finish. Let's adjust some vertices, they're very irregular. Here, you see that this type of the detail looking very nice in the model. On the text that is separated, I'm going to apply a shell to give it thickness and change its color to make the letter stand out more. Now that we are finishing the piece, we will make a general adjustment to entirely the lower part of the model, adjusting its thickness. And finally, we adjust the back of the model, making the corners more rounded like the top. To do this is simple, reduce the model to editable poly and adjust it so that the corners are more rounded. And that's it. That was today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye! Subscribe to the channel.